I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars. Back in 2004, the BBC did an excellent documentary about the whole DeLorean saga. And at the beginning of that,
I remember that.
At the beginning, you remember that? It's a really good one. I would recommend it if anyone's looking for a documentary on the whole DeLorean thing. The BBC 2004 documentary on it is really, really good. However, they claim in the beginning of that the DeLorean Motor Company was the biggest car crash in automotive history. This week, however, Jaguar have managed to top that.
And do you think they may have superseded it?
Quite possibly so.
Interesting.
For those that don't know, Jaguar have unveiled their rebranding this week.
Oh God, it's been complicated, hasn't it?
So it has been complicated, and they're still putting out new stuff on social media. There's more stuff gone out even just this evening.
God, I've not seen this evening, so I'm not that up to date. But I have seen the. We've seen. Well, let's tackle it one step at a time, shall we? So,
logo, yes. So we have the three versions as we had before. We've got the word, the name. We've got Leaper, and well, the Growler's gone, but we've got the replacement round logo, which presumably would go on a grille and a steering wheel and things like that.
You'd assume so. So
assuming it has either of those things. We probably won't have a grille, will it? Because it's electric. But anyway,
let's start with familiarity, shall we? Let's start with the Leaper.
Yes, that's not a bad place to start. That is the least fiddled with.
Which, all right.
That's a bit more acceptable. I'm not saying it's acceptable. I'm saying it's a bit more acceptable. It's sort of the Leaper facing the other way, I noticed. And it's sort of leaping to the right rather than traditionally where it has been leaping to the left.
Yeah. All right.
So they flipped it round and they've put it on like a sort of grid thing, haven't they? So it sort of lines across it, and it's sort of made up of a gap in the grid as opposed to its own thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's that.
That's all right. Let's start with the wording, shall we? Let's continue with the wording. We start with the Leaper. My brain is not on it today.
No, that's all right. Yes, the word Jaguar. Yes.
Right.
We very much have a new font.
Yep, we do. We have. Let's just say what it is. It's a grotesque use of capitalization in the middle of a word.
Well, it's all lowercase apart from the G, which is strangely uppercase. So it's Jaguar. Don't quite understand what that significance of that is. I've seen some suggestions online as to what the significance of that could be, but I'm not sure we should say it on the podcast.
Well, I'm sure it'll spur people on to go and have a look if they've not already put two and two together.
There are some suggestions of what the G could stand for. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
So I've seen it on a variety of different coloured backgrounds, although red seems to be the main one.
Yeah.
Although I have seen it on pink as well. So there's that. So completely different font, completely different design of the word Jaguar. doesn't look anything at all like any of the previous incarnations of that.
No,
And then,
because if we look back over the years, interestingly, the word Jaguar has always been spelt out in uppercase if we're particularly interested in.
Always in uppercase. The last time they did a font change was 2014.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was the previous font, which dated all the way back, I think, to the 1970s. And it was a serif font, quite thin.
Yeah.
Which is the font that's on my car, because mine is pre-2014. So that is the best one, in my opinion. There were some other variations of it back in the 60s and before then, but they've not changed it often, and it's always been quite a subtle change.
That's fine. I mean, I say that's fine. Now it's awful.
Very much not fine.
I don't get
couldn't
it.
even pick a case, let alone a decent font.
No, so that's grim.
Yeah.
And then we've got the round badge.
To quote a phrase from Blackadder, the crowning turd in the water pipe.
Yeah, which I don't really understand why it's a J and an R.
Well, other than that's the first letter and the last letter, no. It's a J and an R in a circle. And that's it.
It's a bit shit, no.
And the pictures of it appears to be wooden, which also doesn't make any sense. I mean, you surely wouldn't put a wooden badge on the front of a car.
No.
But, whatever. Yes, that makes no sense at all. None of them scream Jaguar, but I guess that's the point. They say this is, a new way of thinking, and it's, all the old brand values are gone, and they're going to stand for something else now.
So, right, rather than sort of
copy nothing is the tagline that's being used. Yeah,
that's the one. That's where I'm heading, because I'm heading that direction with the tagline, shortly followed by the video.
Oh God, the video! Now we're in a whole new world of awful with the video. It's just weird. It makes no sense.
No,
and it makes you think that they're selling clothing.
Yeah, some sort of fashion brand.
It's definitely a fashion brand. It certainly doesn't say cars.
Well, there's not a car in it.
Well, quite. Everybody's blue. In very, very blue. Well, apart from the guy with the hair and the paintbrush, who seems to be slapping it all around everywhere. Don't understand that either, unless the cars are going to be hand painted.
God.
With a brush.
Times are tough, you see.
Times are hard. That's right. They got a guy in there with a bit of Dulux.
Yeah, I mean, or I suppose it could be some sort of 80s music video.
It's not that good.
No, I didn't say it was good.
There's all kind of inspirational phrases throughout the video as well. I don't quite remember what they all are now, but
they're clearly not that inspirational.
No, I've actually got it here. I'm just going to.
Oh, you're going to press play on it. I want no part of that, thank you.
No. Oh, it really is awful, isn't it? Pink background, people in very bright colours. Copy nothing.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah, it's not good, is it? The video's weird. There's no other word for it. The video is just weird. I don't get it. And I mean, they say that that we're here to delete ordinary, to go bold, to copy nothing. Create vibrant. I mean, that's not even grammatically correct. Live vivid. There you go. Delete ordinary.
Live
These
vivid.
break molds. Yeah.
Live
That's not
vivid.
even that's not even grammatically correct.
No, I just feel you should go back through it and with a sort of red pen and go, no, live vividly.
Yes.
Yes.
You see your use of language.
Yeah.
You're British, for God's sake. So it's just a series of inspirational phrases. People in weird clothing on a pink background. It is not at all clear what they are selling, or indeed if they're trying to sell anything at all. It's either clothing, paint, jewelry, maybe at a push. I don't know. It certainly doesn't say cars.
No, it doesn't.
It's very strange. It's very, very strange.
So, all right. This is a different perspective on it. I agree with everything you said there. It's bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
It is.
However.
Yeah.
However.
There is a however.
I'm coming out from another angle here.
Yeah, there is a however. There's a big however.
Which, it's a brand that absolutely no one was talking about. It was the bottom of the pile for news.
This was going to be my point. Is this the smashed window on the Tesla Cybertruck? Love it or hate it, everyone this week is talking about Jaguar.
Yeah. That's the only way this could work.
So from that perspective, it's been a massive success. The video on YouTube on there now has 110 million views.
Wow, that's up there, isn't it?
So yeah, people are watching it. People are talking about it. Everybody in the car world on social media this week, since that launched, is talking about nothing else. Even politicians and things are wading in on it. It's everywhere. Everyone this week is talking about Jaguar. Just like they were about the Tesla Cybertruck when Elon smashed the window.
Yeah, shame he didn't do it with his own head, but there we go.
Well, as things have turned out, but let's not get into that.
Yeah.
There's a can of worms there.
That's awfully complicated.
Yes. So, and people are saying, this is the end of Jaguar. They're going to go bust now if this is what they're doing. And, to be fair, they have said themselves that they are looking to appeal to an entirely new audience, and they accept that existing Jaguar buyers are probably not going to come with them for this.
No, that's fair. But what I also don't understand, everything that we've read so far suggests they're going to be really quite pricey numbers in terms of buying the car. That advert doesn't convince me of that price point.
No, it's got everyone talking, but it's the wrong, to use a modern word, it's the wrong vibe, isn't it?
I can't believe you've used the word vibe.
See what watching the video does to you. You see, that's a prime example. It gets in your head.
Oh, mate. Honestly, I felt just a little bit sick in the back of my throat when you said that.
Yeah, you're right to do so. You're right to do so. But you know what I mean.
It's just, I don't get it at all. I think it's a stunt, and they better have the ammunition to back it up.
Well, of course, 2nd of December in Miami, they are unveiling the prototype for the car, and there have so far been 3 images put out of bits of the car.
Right, can you furnish me with all 3? I've seen one. I don't know what the other 2 are.
One moment, please.
Yeah, because this is, am I right in thinking, when they display this or unveil it in December, this isn't necessarily the car they're going to release first. This is more of a concept to make us understand where they're going design-wise.
Correct. Yes, yeah. It's a prototype. Now, Mr. Harry Metcalf, put out on X this afternoon that he has actually seen the car that they are going to unveil in Miami. Now, he has acknowledged that the video is weird. This new branding is not good, and he doesn't understand any of this. But he has said he's seen the car, and we're not to worry.
Which is really interesting because the one shot I've seen, I'm worried.
Well, I'm trying to furnish you with some more shots here. Hang on. Why is it saying that's too big? Don't do that.
Oh god.
Oh god. Hang on. Let me see if I can do it this way. Technical challenges, you know.
That's fine. We'll
oh god.
You do that. I'll talk through it. So
yeah. Well, there's one, which is the one you've probably already seen.
That is the one I've seen. It's the one presumably of the rear with some sort of ventilation duct on the back.
Well, presumably. There's some more images I'm trying to get across to you now. Yes, this is working better. Okay, I went too high a resolution. It wouldn't let me send them to you.
That's okay. My eyes aren't good enough to appreciate the higher resolution.
Right,
what on earth is that, Toss?
Yeah, well, yeah, well, there you go.
The fuck is that?
I'm not sure what that is. A door handle, maybe?
It's a bit low down.
Yeah, true. Well, maybe they are. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Let me find what Mr. Metcalf has said on the subject, because he was quite verbal on it this afternoon.
I haven't seen any of this, but that's all right. I mean, there's the first shot of supposedly the rear. I am worried because that looks a bit shit from that particular angle.
Yes, I agree.
The other two that you've sent me are far too detailed shots. There's no real way of making any informed decision off the back of
There's a lot of straight lines there, though, isn't there?
There are a lot of straight lines. And those gaps are going to have to be really consistent between those panels.
Well, again, we mentioned the Cybertruck. We're getting into that territory, aren't we? Where nothing quite fits properly. That's the trouble with that kind of design. Your build quality has got to be absolutely perfect. Otherwise, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh god, it doesn't stand a chance.
It's a problem.
It is a problem. I tell you what, I mean, it's quite nice going into this with just our opinions on it. By the time we get to next week, I will have listened to everyone else's opinions as well.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Because I haven't listened to Harry's stuff. What I'd be really interested in listening to what they've got to say on Chris Harris's podcast.
Yeah,
it'll be all over that.
Everyone is wading in on this, though. Everyone's making. Even Elon has tweeted about, or X or whatever you call it these days, has commented on it. Joe Rogan has commented on it. I mean, it's everywhere. If the intention was to get people talking about Jaguar, it has worked.
Oh God, and they've really brought out the gems there.
Well, they're best buds.
They are. Oh God.
There is an image here that someone has extrapolated from the first one.
Oh God.
Let me furnish you, because that's I've only just found that, but that it's well.
Nice.
That works really well on a podcast, I grant you. But
yeah, that's genius. We'll take that, we'll duplicate it, we'll flip it, and go. Yeah, there you go. There's two halves of your car. Which, part of me is worried it is that.
I know. There is another one here that someone has posted with the phrase "there, fixed it for you," which is what you would have said. This is what you should have done.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a much better take on it, isn't it?
It's basically a nice young lady standing next to an XF.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, fixed it.
It's simple marketing.
Yes.
At least I understand that marketing.
Yeah, I get that. Well, that marketing is working for me.
Yeah.
The makes me want to rush out and buy an XF. Oh wait, but
too late. You've done it. You've
already done that.
You're living the dream. Come on.
I'm already there. Yeah, I'm living the old Jaguar dream. I don't know what the new one is.
Yeah, I'm not sure you want any part of that.
Well, they have said they don't expect any existing Jaguar owners to go with them for this. I think they're right about that.
I think they're right.
Any existing Jaguar owners are going to go with them for this.
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see for the actual unveil of this concept. But
we haven't got long to wait.
No. We're
a couple of weeks. We'll have seen it.
Yeah. How does that fall in terms of our recording? So it's the 2nd, isn't it? I believe.
The 2nd of December in Miami. Yeah.
Utterly perfect. The 2nd of December is Monday, so we'll we'll record a couple of days later that week. So yeah, we'll be hot on it.
Perfect. We'll be on. We will have seen it by then. Very good.
So in terms of unveiling, this week as well, there have been some unveilings of some other Jags.
Is this?
I've seen two.
I've seen one leaked photo of what they're calling the XJE, as would have been.
Yep, I've got that one, and to follow that up, an axed SUV, the J-Pace.
Well, that's a name I've heard, but I've never seen any pictures of it.
So I've got that too. So we've got two cars that I think the XJE, or whatever you're going to call it, the electric XJ.
It's not what I'm going to call it.
That's what they were going to call it.
Apparently.
We know that was essentially done.
Yes, the word was that it was ready, wasn't it? In fact, even some members of the press had apparently seen it. It was ready to go. Yeah.
So that, but like you said, that's seen the light of day this week.
Yes.
Well, not the car itself, but the photos.
No, that never will. But we've seen photo. Well, I've seen a photo of it. Yes.
Yeah, I think I've seen the photo as well, and it's only a matter of time now before that ends up in Jaguar heritage and never moves again.
I would think that's where most of that sort of stuff ends up. Yeah.
But it makes no sense that it was that ready, and it looked fine.
Yeah, it didn't blow me away. I mean, it looked like a sort of, to be honest, a slightly modified version of the existing XJ of that era. Well, the final XJ, as it's turned out to be.
Yeah, which it looks fine.
Which is fine. Yeah. We weren't bored with that design language.
So now what I'm led to believe is that, hang on, let me make sure that I'm not talking bollocks. Let me find the bit in the article. So the project was canned, and they reckon 500 million wasted.
That's what they spent on developing it. Yes, because it was a new platform, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it was a new platform that would also accommodate internal combustion, because they were going to carry on making petrol XJs alongside the electric one. And they decided by the time it was ready, or what I had heard, they decided by the time it was ready, that dual power platform was going to be too compromised against all the other pure electric cars in the market, so they decided to dump it.
Which is highly amusing, and to slow down the uptake of EVs.
Well, given the way things have gone, yes. I mean, maybe they were thinking of stuff like the Model S, I don't know, but it even if they did feel that, even if they thought, maybe this thing isn't quite as cutting edge as it should be, you have spent the money to develop it. Put it on sale anyway.
Yep.
Why not? Some people will buy it.
Yeah,
you get some money back.
You're down the line at this point. So my next thing, if going right, before we'll come back to the J Pace in a minute. We'll come back to. So we've seen the camo new Jag.
Yes.
We don't know what it's called yet, but
no.
Now,
I'm terrified of what it's called, to be honest.
Yeah, but what also makes me just a little sort of apprehensive is the fact that the marketing in this new brand unveiling is way out there.
Yes.
That car design, albeit camoed up and with fake panels no doubt here and there, doesn't look as radical as the marketing suggests it should be.
No, not at all. Now, the marketing could be being marketing.
Yeah, that's been known to happen.
It's been known to happen. I mean, this really is, as they have said themselves, is a story that's still unfolding. Because they've received a few comments on social media, let's be honest. And they were replying to them for a while. They've given up now. But
oh, God.
In the spirit of this unfolding as we're talking, Richard Porter has just put on X that he well, I'll read what he's written. I spoke to a JLR executive earlier, and he was gleefully delighted with how much attention they've garnered in line with their new aim to be deliberately provocative. Well, if that is what they're trying to do, they've kind of succeeded.
Provocative. Oh, just that. Ugh.
I know. We're big fans of Jaguar as it has always been, and this isn't aimed at us. My fear is if they are, they're now saying leap forwards. This really is changing minute by minute.
Do you think that's why they switched the direction of the Leaper?
Yes, I do.
Okay, fine.
Yes, I do. Because they've been criticised before, or at least I have heard it questioned before. Why is the cat leaping into the past? Which, at least in the Western world, to the left is backwards, to the right is forwards.
Yeah.
That's not true in every culture.
No. But it yeah, all right. That's
so. Yeah, they have flipped the leap around the other way. No more growler. I knew that would make you do that. I had to do it at some point during our chat.
Yeah.
I knew it would make you make that noise.
It makes me sad.
Yeah, I love a growler. But yeah, it's. What was I going to say? Yes, my point was going to be that it's clearly not aimed at people like us, me, a serial Jag buyer, and you who appreciates the brand and appreciates the heritage of it. If
as
they
a nickname with Grandad, of course I'm going to love a Jag.
Of course you love a Jag, exactly. You still need to drive mine. But you could, so it's nostalgia now.
Oh, it is, yeah.
You're driving a piece of history now. If they are aiming at a younger audience, and I know they've tried that before with X-Type and later XE and, varying degrees of success.
Yeah.
But if they're chasing a younger audience, the younger market isn't interested in owning cars, generally.
It's not really for them, is it?
And they all think of Jaguar as a
old
people's brand. Yeah, specifically old white man's brand.
That's difficult to shake off.
Well, it's what they've always been, and they've been going a while now, on and off.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair. It's not been off. They've never gone bust. But
I mean, it's off at the moment. They don't sell cars.
They're not making anything at the moment. No, that's true. Yeah, don't even get me started on the website, which is a total shambles. They've got both branding on the web. They've got old and new branding on the website. They haven't changed it all.
Oh, who's approved that, for goodness sake?
As I'm careful to say, former web developer, I thought that would get right up your nose.
I'm glad you added former in there, because
I like to be careful about that sort of thing. Yeah,
I no longer want to be tarred with that brush. Thank you.
No, you don't do that anymore, but you did for a while, and you will. You understand.
I do understand
how important these things are.
Double branding on a website.
And there's lots and lots of pages about cars you can't buy anymore, because there's still all the information about all the cars they used to make is still there, but with the old branding on it. And if you go to the homepage, or at least, I must admit, I haven't checked it today. Let me just go there and just make sure.
I'm gonna have a look as well, just to humour myself.
Yes, it's still there. They've still got both. They've still got both.
What a shit show.
And there's nothing on the homepage now. It goes straight from header to footer. There's no content. There's nothing. It goes from the header, and then there's all the stuff, like the copyright and things at the bottom. There's nothing in. There's no content. There's nothing there. And the vehicles section, there's just pages and pages in the old font of information about the cars you can't buy anymore.
I don't mean. I'm closing it. It's getting on my tits.
It's bad, isn't it? It's really bad. A seismic change is coming. There's another phrase they're using. They're full of phrases at the moment.
Full of phrases, lacking in cars. Good. Well done, them.
Lacking in branding that even says cars. So, if the goal was to get everyone talking about them, then it's worked.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really worried. I was worried anyway.
Yeah.
I'm really worried. They're throwing away their existing market. They're throwing away their heritage and chasing a market that's not interested in them.
Yep.
And it's quite a small market anyway, because a lot of young people are not interested in cars. So,
yeah, it's not good, is it?
I don't think so. No, it's terrible.
Awful.
And Jaguar has one of the strongest heritages, if that's a word, one of the strongest, most loyal customer base of any of the car brands, really.
Oh, yeah.
Such a strong heritage.
They've only gone and fucked it, haven't they?
They've thrown it all away. So, yeah, there we go. We'll see on December the 2nd what this car looks like. I can't find Harry's post from earlier on X, but he did say that he has seen it. He is among a small group who was invited over to see it before it went to America. And he said, don't worry, it's okay.
Okay.
But he also acknowledged that this rebranding, and certainly the video, is weird. Very, very weird.
Okay, so that's right. He's on the same page.
Doesn't understand the marketing, but he has seen the car.
Okay. All right. Well,
and he remains excited. So we'll see on 2nd of December.
We're gonna have to see, because oh god, makes you cross, doesn't it?
Yeah, very. Yeah, I'm not happy.
No, but that's fine. Just a bit.
But they're not aiming at us. This isn't for us.
No, this isn't for you. No.
No, I'm not going to be buying one of these.
No, that's not for you.
Well, not at 150 grand. I'm not, even if I liked it. But
yeah, no, it's definitely not for you. Oh God, how have we ended up here? Really?
Well, it is the hot topic of the week, isn't it? Because everyone's talking about it, even us.
Yeah, they're absolutely. Which that's fine. That's fine. Right.
I mean, to find Carrie's tweet.
Yeah, you find that. What I'm gonna say, I'm gonna steer us away from a brand that people are going, you what? And get them onto a brand where people are going, I want that car now.
Oh.
Because in the UK we now have Renault 5 prices.
Oh, now I've seen this. Yes.
Starting from 22,995.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep.
That's absolutely, that is class leading.
And it's packaged in a gloriously retro marvelousness. It's
a marvelousness. It is a marvelousness. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I
think it's fantastic. It looks like a Renault 5.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I really do. And the pricing is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's bob on that, isn't it? I'd say
it is. They got it right with the Zoe, because that was from about 18 grand.
But the Zoe was fucking boring, whereas that is glorious.
It was, and people with older ones are now having trouble getting them repaired because Renault have kind of dropped it. You can't get bits for the Zoe anymore, which is a serious problem. So as long as they don't do that, I think the R5, as I believe they're calling it, I think that's going to walk out of the showrooms.
Well, it is. I mean, you can't buy one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I can go on and configure one, and all I can do is buy an R5 pass or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So I can buy the opportunity to buy the car.
Yes, we can't actually buy the car itself.
No.
If that is a bit of a runaway success, which early indications look like it will be, that's going to be, that could really transform Renault's fortunes.
You say could. I'm going to be as bold as to say absolutely will.
Absolutely is going to. Yeah. I think they've got it just right with that. Just right. It's just the right amount of retro. It's what they've done there. It's quite clever in that it will appeal to people who have no idea what a Renault 5 is, but it'll also appeal to people who have massive nostalgia for the original.
Yep.
And there's the Alpine version,
which I don't mind the Alpine version, but I think I prefer the simplicity of the 5.
I agree. I don't think I'd go for the Alpine version. I mean, it's a lot more expensive, but aside from that, I think I'd go for the standard one. Yeah, I think it looks just right. That's fantastic, and at that price, that there's a number of other cars on the market that are going to suffer with that, I would say.
Oh yeah, I think I was almost going to sort of blurt it out then, but actually maybe we should go off and spec one.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Because I've got a rough idea. I've had a play, but maybe we should go off and come back and show our workings and all that.
Let's come back to that like we've done before. Yes, I'm very, very happy to go off and spec one of those. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done it, but I'm very happy to do so. That's
because that went live this week along with the pricing, I think. So
okay, I didn't see that. I saw the pricing and thought, oh my word, that's fantastic. Because I would have expected that to be 35, something like that, as a starting point. I know you can spec one up to that, but as a prices on the road from number, I would have said 35, but for it to be 22 is That's fantastic.
Amusingly, I won't give the game away, but you say you can spec it up to that. I don't think you can.
I thought the big battery version was approaching that sort of number. Am I wrong?
I've just clicked all the boxes in the top end, and I'm nowhere near 35.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was something that was being speculated then.
Okay, that's fine. I'll say no more.
Yes,
because I don't want to spoil it. But really impressed with that. And it will sell fantastic. Like hotcakes.
Those are going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
and I'm quite happy for those to be everywhere. I think that is a banging bit of design.
And no, I don't want to rip this off. I'd had the same conversation with someone, and I believe Johnny mentioned it on Smith and Sniff. So I'm not liberating it. I'm just agreeing. I had the conversation separately, but it's that BMW Mini moment.
Well, he said, I don't know if you've watched Johnny's road test of it. He went to France with the guy from Radio 1. I forget his name.
I've not seen it. I believe Greg James is his name.
That's the fella. He went to France with him to drive one, and he said then that he thought it was the Mini moment, or possibly the Fiat 500 moment.
I don't give a toss about the Fiat 500.
No, but it has been a big success. Is my point.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. I would far prefer a Mini, given the choice.
Yeah.
Yes, it could well be. It could well be Renault's Mini moment. Yeah, where they take their classic design. Although, of course, unlike BMW, it wasn't their design. The classic was nothing to do with them. Whereas with Renault, of course, it very much was.
That's it. I mean, that was a stroke of genius, them retaining that after flogging Rover.
Yes, it was. Well, they looked at everything that was there, and the rest of it was worth about 50p. And they recognised that the Mini could go somewhere. And of course, there had been some prototypes built internally of what Mini could be.
Yeah,
which BMW had seen and thought, yes, that
we'll have that.
We'll have that. Yeah,
there was also.
I don't want the rest of it. We'll have that bit.
They hung on to the hatchback that Rover made. I can't remember what the R code was for it, but it basically became the 1 Series.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it wasn't like for like, but they certainly borrowed some Rover.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
You could well be right. Although surely the Rover would have been front-wheel drive, and the 1 Series was rear-wheel drive.
Well, true. Yeah.
So it can't have shared that much with it.
Let me see if I can find it.
I've never heard that, if that's true.
So it was the R30.
Oh, okay.
There we go. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, they basically retained it, and there's a staggering amount of rumours. Like you pointed out that yes, front wheel drive became rear wheel drive, but let me give you an article about it.
But then the Rover 75 has a transmission tunnel, even though it was front wheel drive. Because there's always been rumours that was meant to be rear drive, or there were plans to do a rear drive version of it. But oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah,
have a read of that. Okay. It's not just rumours. It's based. There are some distinct facts behind it.
No, fair dues. I'd never heard that. That's interesting. That's interesting. But yes, clearly if they were going to save anything from the ruins of Rover, it was going to be the Mini. It was the only thing that really had a life beyond that. And what a massive success that turned out to be. So let's hope the R5 can do it, because I think that's amazing.
Well, the press for it is good. The demand for it is clearly through the roof.
Well, we need more small, lower cost EVs, don't we? It's a huge gap in the market. We're very well catered for massive, ridiculous SUVs. We're reasonably well catered for saloon cars of various sizes, but there's very few little hot hatches.
Yeah, I mean, well,
yeah,
none these days, really. I mean, it's a few, but it's really not worth getting excited about.
Well, and not at that price point. I mean, the Honda E is over 30 grand.
Well, that's not a thing anymore.
Well, that's gone and had a terrible range, 220 miles. And in fact, the new electric Mini is hampered by poor range.
It's better than it was, but it's certainly not. It's certainly not that price.
A bit, but it's not that price. It's a lot more expensive than the Renault. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive and has significantly less range.
Yeah.
So why would you have the Mini?
Well,
and I really like the Mini. In fact, we did a spec up of one of those a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, compared to a 5, you know which one you'd pick, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the 5's going to be really difficult to ignore. It'd be top of your list, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm just looking at pictures of it. It's fantastic from every angle.
It is. All right. You should spec one before next week. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Oh, well, I'm going to be spending some time on that website. Yes.
Right. So we mentioned it. Before we wrap up, let's go back to it. That we didn't really dwell on the J pace that was.
Oh yes, we skipped over that. Yes, quite right. Yes.
I wouldn't normally want to go back to an SUV, but I thought let's tackle it.
God.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? So this was their proposed premium SUV, and it is larger and more bulbous.
Bulbous is a good word for it.
It's not great, is it?
There's that word that James May likes. It's gopping.
Which, yeah, because it puts it right in premium, and this article really hammers that point home of going, it would have sort of been right in there with Range Rover and Range Rover Sport.
Well, quite. Why would they compete with themselves?
It's a weird one, isn't it? It's like if you're at that price point, surely the people would just buy Range Rovers.
Just buy a Range Rover, yeah.
So it's probably sensible that was canned and not brought along as far as the electric XJ, for instance.
I mean, F-Pace is perilously close to Range Rover.
Yeah.
And the F-Pace, in fact, has been the best-selling Jaguar for years, by far. But for people who like a Range Rover, but not quite. But I still don't understand why XJE, if that's what it was going to be, was cancelled. If it was done, why not just launch it, even if it only runs for a couple of years? At least you'd have something to sell.
Yeah, I mean, Prime Minister would probably buy one.
Yeah, but they're running around in Audis now.
Yeah, that's a bit of a. It's a bit of a weird one,
isn't it? Really? Yeah.
I did I invent this? But did Audi rebrand themselves?
Not that I'm aware of. They've still got the 4 rings, haven't they?
Hang on. I think they rebranded themselves in China.
Oh, okay. Well, we wouldn't have seen that then.
No, I saw this. I saw this last week.
No, there's no rebranding on the UK site. Sure.
No, it definitely was that. They rebranded themselves as Audi.
Weren't they already Audi?
Yeah, but
okay. Quite a subtle rebranding then.
You mentioned the 4 rings. They didn't use the 4 rings. That was their branding. They used the word instead.
Oh, I see. Okay. And any particular reason?
I don't know.
Any Olympic connotations using the rings?
I don't know. I saw it as a fleeting glance, and I jotted it down on my pad.
Okay.
Better mention.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why would that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't understand marketing anyway, but
no.
Clearly, none of us understand marketing with what's happened this week. So
no. As rebrands go, it's been a difficult week for it. Oh God.
It has. It's been tricky.
Honestly, we're bouncing from week to week at the moment. I dread to think where we're going next week with Jaguar news.
Oh, they're going to keep leaking out these weird photos by the look of it until the 2nd of December. So
we're going to record. So actually, we've got one recording next week prior to the event, and then the following week we'll be recording after the event.
So we'll know what it looks like.
God, so we'll have said, we'll report back on the inevitable teasers that we're going to get, and then we'll report back on the real thing. But we'll sort of, I don't know, sit here incredibly apprehensively and hope for the best.
Try and stay calm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get worked up. I mean, Grandad might get a bit shouty, but
I think I might get a bit worked up. But I particularly like your Instagram post for this evening's recording. I think you see that what you've done there is captured a nice bit of classic Jaguar there.
Yes, yeah. I knew we were going to be on topic. We were a bit last week. We definitely are this week, and we're going to be for the next couple of weeks while this saga unfolds.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the story unfolds, as they've said themselves. And of course, you've chosen there a picture of a facelifted XJS, which was a very controversial car in its time. A lot of people said, "Oh, it doesn't look like a Jaguar. What are you doing this for?" You've replaced the E-Type with this. Are you mental? And yet now look at it. We love it.
Yeah, all right. Well, there you go. We might eat our own words, but I mean, I doubt it. They look like maniacs at the moment.
They do, don't they? Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm struggling with it at the moment. Yes.
Let's see where they end up next week then. Yeah, bollocks it. Right. Yep. Let's see how far they sort of unfurl themselves, and we'll report back.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.